Hello there, thank you for joining us right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachikwen here are the top stories. Agunloye accuses former President Obasanjo of spreading falsehood on Mambila power project against him. President Tinubu makes 45 fresh appointments. Court prescribes Lakurawa declares group terrorist sect. Governor Makinde's brother is dead. Also, President Tinubu mourns former FCT Minister Lieutenant General Useni and Labour Party National Assembly members raise the alarm over missing Anambra lawmaker. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. A former Minister of Power and Steel, Olu Agunloye, has accused former President Olusegun Obasanjo of deliberately spreading falsehoods to obscure his own record regarding the Mambila power project. VOP News gathered that Agunloye, who was accused of a $6 billion Mambila hydroelectric plant fraud, had earlier sought the intervention of the Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, and other personalities over the matter. Agunloye, who is the National Secretary of the Social Democratic Party, is facing a 7-count charge brought by the federal government of Nigeria at the Federal Capital Territory High Court over the contract. VOP News also learned that Agunloye served as Minister of Power and Steel between 2002 and 2003 under Obasanjo. Also, Obasanjo had ruled Nigeria as a civilian president between 1999 and 2007. The former minister has, however, accused his former principal of deliberately spreading falsehoods to obscure his own record regarding the Mambila power project. Agunloye, in a statement made available on Friday, alleged that the government seeks to use him as a scapegoat to portray systemic corruption to the arbitration panel. He added that his challenges stem from personal conflicts between President Obasanjo and two of his associates, which is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Leno Adesonya, the owner of Sunrise Power Company. Agunloye, while speaking further, maintained that Obasanjo feigned ignorance of the BOT contract during his presidency and later distorted the facts in public and judicial settings. Obasanjo feigned the ignorance during his presidency, later distorted the facts. The government seeks to use me as a scapegoat to portray systemic corruption to the arbitration panel and undermine Sunrise's claims. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the fresh appointments of board persons and chief executive officers of various government establishments. The president, in a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, appointed board chairpersons for 42 federal organizations and a secretary to the board of the Civil Defense, Immigration and Prison Services. VOP News gathered that the president also appointed a new managing director for the Nigerian Railway Corporation and a director general for the National Board for Technology Incubation. President Tinubu directed the board chairpersons not to interfere with the management of the organizations, emphasizing that their positions are non-executive. All the appointments take immediate effect, according to the statement released by Bayo Onanuga. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday issued an order prescribing the Lakurawa sect and other similar groups operating in Nigeria, particularly in the northwest and north central regions. VOP News also gathered that Justice James Omotosho delivered the ruling in response to an ex parte application filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi. The application was presented by David Kaswe, an Assistant Director of the Federal Ministry of Justice, on behalf of the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, MB Abubakar. In an affidavit supporting the application, Michael Akawu, a litigation officer in the Department of Public Prosecutions, outlined the sect's activities, which includes cattle rustling, kidnapping for ransom, hostage taking, attacks on government officials and security personnel, spreading radical ideology to local communities, encouraging defiance of constituted authorities. Akawe emphasized that these acts have caused significant harm, loss of lives, and destruction of properties, posing a grave threat to national security and public peace. He argued that proscribing the sect and similar groups was essential for Nigeria's safety and security. Justice Omotosho granted the relief sought and issued the following orders. declaring the activities of the Lakurawa sect and similar groups in any part of Nigeria as acts of terrorism, proscribing the existence of Lakurawa and similar groups, whether as individuals or organizations, under any name or platform, mandating the publication of the prescription order in the official gazette and 2 national dailies, banning participation in any activities associated with the Lakurawa sect or similar groups, proscribing other groups involved in acts such as banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and other forms of violence. The Lakurawa sect reportedly infiltrated Nigeria from Niger and Mali and has been a significant security concern since its emergence in Sokoto State around 2016 or 2017. Initially formed as a self-defense militia to combat banditry, the group then evolved into a radical faction, evolved into enforcing strict religious laws and exerting control over local communities. Their activities have spread to Kebbi State, where they carried out violent attacks, including a notorious operation in November 2024 in Mera Village, Agui local government area, which resulted in multiple deaths and cattle rustling. Also, the Nigerian Defense Headquarters identified Lakurawa as a terrorist organization with links to extremist elements from Mali and Niger, exacerbating insecurity in the northwestern region. In an unfortunate incident, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has lost his elder brother, engineer Sunday Makinde. VP News gathered that the 65-year-old engineer Sunday Makinde passed away in the wee hours of Friday, January 24, 2024. Engineer Makinde's demise was announced today in a statement by another younger brother, Chief Olumuyiwa Makinde. The younger brother, Makinde, who is the Bada Olubadan of Ibadan land and head of Igbofa family of Ojaba in Ibadan, disclosed on Sunday that Sunday died at his residence at 3 a.m. in Ibadan. Now, former President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed his sorrow over the passing of Lieutenant General Jeremiah Timbot Useni, former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who died on Thursday at 81. In a statement by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanoga, the President extended condolences to the family, friends, military colleagues, and political associates of the late elder statesman. Tinubu commended Useni's courage and dedication throughout his military career, noting that he inspired a generation of young officers to prioritize national interest over personal gains. Now, National Assembly members of the Labour Party have raised the alarm over the status of abducted Anambra Assembly member Honorable Justice Azuka a month after the lawmaker representing Onisha North 1 in the Assembly was abducted on December 24, 2024 by gunmen on his way to spend the Christmas with his family. Since then, the lawmaker has not been found. His counterparts at the national level are agitated that the deafening silence from the state government over the matter is becoming unbearable. Honorable Azuka of the Labour Party recovered his mandate at the Election Petitions Tribunal, where a member of the People's Democratic Party held sway. In a statement on Friday in Oka by the National Assembly Lawmakers Caucus by their leader, Honorable Afam Ogene, they said it was time to speak out. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People, 92.3 FM. We'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll head into a news analysis segment where I currently have Mr. Peter Anosike, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator who actually will be responding to some questions posed at him. To kindly stay with us. Thank you for staying with us and welcome back. Mr. Peter Anosike, good afternoon and thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Mr. Peter Anosike, let's look at the situation like this. Would you say it's high time that Lakurawa was declared as a terrorist organization? And does it mean that every other affiliate involved in activities like Lakurawa with this judgment means that they have already officially been prescribed as a terrorist organization with the order given?
Well, I listened to what they reeled out. And what they read out, the activities of this organization confirmed to it.
Okay.
Understand? So when you define what terrorism is, you now see that their activities confirmed with the definition. So on this part, the federal government is right by declaring them a terrorist organization. Yeah.
All right. Then that means that ASWAP, ISIS, and all of them, with this particular order, have officially been declared a terrorist organization.
I mean, if the activities of ISWAP, maybe Boko Haram and other confirmed with the definition of terrorism, then it means that they are right to be proscribed.
All right, let's look at this situation, Mr. Peter Anosike, concerning the Mambila Power Project. I'm sure you heard when some certain persons, former President Buhari, also Obasanjo, as well as Agunle, these members actually went to Paris at the Paris court concerning the Mambila Power Project in connection with Sunrise Power. Now, Agunle is saying that Obasanjo is not being truthful and that he's spreading falsehoods, specifically in public at the court. He actually deliberately acted like he did not see the papers related to the Mambila Power Project. How would you react to this?
Well, for me, this news, this incident happened about 21 years ago.
Okay.
That was during Obasanjo's first term. Understand? So, and I don't know why it has been lingering up to now, up to 20 years.
Okay.
So I don't know the interest there, and I don't know what also brings Buhari inside it, because Buhari was never part of Buhari's of Obasanjo's government.
Okay.
In 2003, Buhari was in court with Obasanjo. Understand me? Because in 2003, Buhari ran with Chuba Okadigbo under AMPP. So he and Obasanjo were not on the same page. So I don't know that's what brought him into this matter. And again, I don't know what Obasanjo will benefit by lying against his former power minister.
So you're saying that there is every truth to whatever testimony Obasanjo gave against this man, because I don't know why he's coming out to clarify that it's falsehood. Are you not supposed to make that statement at court? If you have your evidence to prove that whatever it says Obasanjo is reading out is distorted and not true.
Even court doesn't listen to press conferences or to interviews.
Okay.
Court doesn't work with press interviews. Understand? It works with evidences before it. So this thing is not going to add or minus anything, assuming there are concrete evidence. But the concern is, why is this case lingering 21 years after? That is that's my concern. Because if there's enough meat in this case, they ought to have disposed it a long time ago. Understand? Because there's an EFCC which was set up by Obasanjo that same year that should have prosecuted this case. So I don't know why they are still talking about it 21 years after. So is it because both parties are still alive?
All right, and let's go on to party politics. Very recently, we are hearing Obiora E4C for now. Peter Obi and Alex Oti have not declared otherwise. Also mentioned that the Nenadi Usman-led National Working Committee is just a form of clownery, that it's just they're playing a game. What does Obiora E4 mean by that?
Well, the issue is, I keep on saying, it is not every dog that barks on your way that you will stop and throw stone at. Understand me? So it is not anybody that makes statement that Peter Obi should respond to. Understand? Some people are inconsequential, and when they are inconsequential, you don't you don't make them popular or celebrity. Understand me? So Peter B would first of all check who am I reacting to.
All right.
Understand me? Because personalities determines the weight of a news.
All right.
Understand me? So maybe P2B and XOT are busy elsewhere. Understand?
They're busy elsewhere.
Sure, doing better things
Okay.
than responding to one charlatan somewhere.
Okay. All right. In this particular regard, I don't know what you mean by charlatan, but there have been concerns about the authenticity of Peter Obi's continued stay within the Labour Party. And obviously, it's important that these clarifications were
Excuse me,
made.
when last the P2B talked about
It's been a long
never-
time. It's been
sure.
a long time. That's basically what I'm trying to refer to.
So what they are doing now is just playing mind game.
Okay.
That
they
is
trying
what
to
is going
close
on
the
now.
door if there is a potential of him having to defect or form a new political party? Are they trying to not let him speak by speaking ahead? Is this a form of anticipation or just a response to what a lot of
What
parties
is
have been
going
saying?
on? They are playing mind game at this point in time. So what happened in Abia State during the local government election will tell you that's what really is going on. So these people are apprehensive, understand? They are jittery, understand? That the heart of the party is going away. And once you remove a heart from any living thing, the thing will die.
Okay.
So Labour Party was dead before P2B joined it in 2022.
All right.
And it is going to die again when they exit.
Okay.
Because those shoe shiners cannot even run a local government election. That's Abure, Ifo,
And the likes.
Abata, Arabambi. They cannot even run a councillorship election. Because I have sat down and checked their capacity. Understand me?
All right. Mr. Peter Nosike, there's been some back and forth concerning identity, specifically with placing Ikwere if they are Igbos or not. And very recently, Nyesom Wike made a remark in attestation to the fact that he is not Igbo, and nobody can actually infuse him to be identified as an Igbo person. And Kenneth Okonkwo, you know how vocal he is, actually lambasted him and told him he is actually unstable. He made references to certain statements that Wike had made in the past, which obviously his attitude and disposition counters what he has said. Kenneth Okonkwo said that at some point, Wike said he was not going to interfere with his, with whoever it is that will become the incumbent governor of Rivers State, but now he has not given peace to Fubara. He also mentioned that he never wanted any ministerial appointment, but we saw him lobby for ministerial appointment. So he literally said that when the time is convenient, Wike will definitely say that he's Igbo. I want us to just take a very brief listen to his explanation to that.
His Igbo ancestry is actually very amusing. I've seen the FCT minister, for instance, raising his hand and vowing during the presidential primary of PDP that whoever emerges from this primary as the presidential candidate, that I vow to support the person, Tinubu, in the presidential election after the vow. And he started saying, no, it's because he's from the South. And then I was asking myself then, when you were making the vow, were you not aware that you had some northern candidates that were contesting? You contested with them. When you were making the vow, did you say, I vow that if any southern candidate emerged from this convention, I'm going to support the southern candidate? Is it, if any person, if anybody emerges, I vow, use the word vow, to support the person? I saw him also vowing he would never say anything against Odeli that will make him to cry. But the things he's saying about Odeli now is even making Odeli's follower to scream. Then you can imagine Odeli himself. I saw him also vow that once he leaves office, he will leave his successor to have peace and will not come to disturb him. That is not the kind of person that disturbs his successor. His successor is the most disturbed successor in the whole Nigeria. So he has made a lot of vows which he had recanted. So if you don't like what the FCT minister is saying, just be patient. He will soon change. But let me talk about the issue of ancestry. Nobody chooses where he comes from. It's God that determines where you come from. That is one. Then secondly, the basis of nationhood from the ancient time is language. If you recall the Bible from the Tower of Babel, when God wanted to create nations out of the unipolar world, then he said, let us go and scatter their language. So when God did it, you discover that people now who understood each other, what they were speaking, now aggregated and became part of one nation. So it is language that determines your nationhood. Ikwere is Igbo, 100%. Ikwere go na Chineke dị mma. Ikwere. Wike means wike, because in Igbo land, some dialects use the word wike. If you remember, the former Senate president is Adolphus Wabara. So it's dialectical. Nyesom is Igbo. So by virtue of language, Ikwere is Igbo. And it is not, it is in his constitutional right to say he does not want to identify as Igbo. That's his constitutional right. But he cannot say he's not Igbo. Because by language, by tribe, he is Igbo and he doesn't have a choice about it. And again, if a wike that is just a politician talks about Igbo, and the president of Ohanese, who happens to be an Ikwere man, Senator Azoka Mbata, talks on what concerns Igbo. And then Wike's own political leader, who is Fubara, because the PDP concern is very clear. Once somebody is a governor, he is the leader of the state. If Fubara had welcomed Senator Azoka Mbata as the president of Ohanese, who is from Ikwere, I would rather believe these people because they have the political and cultural right to say where Ikwere people are from. And then from their language.
Mr. Peter, how do you react to this?
For me, I'm seeing all these things in this Ikwere thing in a different perspective.
Okay, what's the different perspective?
Is Nelson Mandela from Ikwere? The answer is no.
Okay.
Is Bishop Desmond Tutu from Ikwere? The answer is no.
Okay.
Is Elon Musk from Ikwere? The answer is no. Is Emeka Anyoku from Ikwere? The answer is no. Okay. Is there any world best that comes from Ikwere? The answer is no. So what are we dragging?
No, it's not that.
What? Excuse me. What are we dragging? Look, I don't believe in leaving 99 sheep to go to look for a lost sheep.
All right.
I don't believe in that. Okay. I don't even raise my head when a prodigal son decided that to walk back. So saying that Nyesom Wike would later agree that it's Igbo. I don't believe in welcoming a prodigal son back. You are not there. You are not there. So for me, Igbos are not looking for people. We are not begging anybody. Mbata voluntarily bought the nomination form. Ohanese doesn't give forms out. Okay. There are prizes for any position that you want to contest. And contesting for Ohanese President General is over $1 million. Understand me? So it's not that we give people a form, just fill and come and run. Mm-hmm. So he deliberately bought it, knowing that he is an Igbo man, and is the son of Rivers State.
Okay.
Understand? Chukwudum Nwuche, former deputy speaker of National Assembly, has wanted to vie for this position. Understand me? Okuku. Okuku was the Secretary General of Ohanese when John Onyanwodo was the President General of Ohanese. Okuku is from Ikwere. Understand me? Why did they not raise this why should an Ikwere man be Secretary General of Ohanese worldwide? So the game that wike is just playing is 2027.
Okay, what is his interest for 2027?
Now he wants a puppet that will come from him. In 2027, you hear that Ohaneze Ndigbo has endorsed Boname Tinubu. That's the game.
I don't understand. He wants a puppet so that by 2027 you hear Ohaneze Ndigbo has endorsed Tinubu. When he has actually said he is not Igbo and Azuta Mbata identifies as Igbo, that means he doesn't recognize Azuta Mbata as...
Because he did not have any hand in bringing out Azuta Mbata.
Exactly.
That is it.
Okay.
So it wasn't his own candidate that emerged.
So you mean his own candidate would not have actually aligned with the Igbo language speaking tribe?
No. His own candidate would have worked for him in 2027. Understand me?
Okay.
So he's not happy that this guy, immediately he was elected, he go and pay homage to Simi Fubra. Understand me?
Okay.
So this is the game there. Understand? If it was his own puppet that has emerged, like Tony Okocha, who he demolished his house in 2015. Understand me? This APC factional chairman in River State now, 2015. Understand? But because he has no means of livelihood, upon that insult, he still come back to begin to pick the crumbs that is falling from his table. Understand me? So assuming that it was his candidate, somebody that he can easily use, that emerged, he would have agreed to be Igbo.
Interested. That's another angle to look at it, Mr. Peter Anosike. But exactly like he said, he made a very important statement. He said that when it comes to language, and it has to do with your identity, it's not something you choose, especially where you were born and the tribe you belong to. It's not something you choose. And your name actually speaks volumes of your clan or your ethnic group.
Esther, the people that issued that statement was called Ogbako Ikwere. Ogbako Ikwere. Ogbako is an Igbo word meaning gathering.
Okay.
We have a Ogbako Ndi Igbo, which means gathering of Igbo people. So but I don't know how he can be in captivity for more than 2 months. As it is very, very wrong. It is wickedness that his members should now be making this statement after 2 months. They ought to have reacted in less than 48 hours because it is part of you. And in terms of security, even though governors are not in charge of security in the country due to our constitution, but Sonudo is not doing very well with regard to security. Anambra has turned to another Zamfara state. So Anambra is now the Zamfara state in the southeast, which is not good for Sonudo, who will be seeking re-election this year. So he should better double up.
He should double up. All right, Mr. Peter Anosike. Finally, what would your advice be? Because there's a recent rise in coal mining in some certain regions very of late, specifically Ogun State. I don't know what the benefit would be. It's a social concern. It's a moral concern. The police PRO too has called attention to it. We have seen the Southwest Governor set up a security team as a formation that is Amotekun to combat ISWAP and all of the supposed Fulani headers who have actually trapezed into the region. Don't you think there should be an emergency into this? Specifically, graveyards been raided, ritual killings of recent. What would you say to that?
Well, a Yoruba man is the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
Understand? So, both the chief of army staff and the inspector general of police are from the same state too.
Okay.
So, they should there must be intelligent gathering. Understand? Because these people are migrating from the north to the south. I don't know what their mission is.
Which people are you referring to? Because most of those people who are into this are not from the north. Although aside from ISWAP and ISIS, coming in, we know how they do their heading and kidnap, they butch. But this time around is about the fact that persons are going to people's graveyards, removing some parts of their body for whatever reasons. Beyond that, they're kidnapping and, mutilating, cutting off, and all of that stuff. So the question is, do you think that a state of emergency needs to be declared? Because it's a menace, it's a social menace.
The issue is this. Once, when they say that you have been given a marching order,
Okay.
I find it irritating. Once you are made Inspector General of Police, once you are made a Chief of Army Staff, what order are you waiting for? So when they say that somebody has been given a marching order, I don't understand it. You have been appointed, commissioned to eradicate insecurity. What other orders are you waiting for?
Don't you think that it also behaves on the state governors as well? Because the president has a lot on his table, literally distracted.
No, unless they should amend that constitution. Understand? Let state governments be taking security decisions. Because
not relying on the federal government.
the governor of Ogun State cannot command the commissioner of police in Ogun. The commissioner of police in Ogun takes order from the IG.
All right.
Understand me? So it is only the president that should tackle this, which is service chiefs. But for me, what they are doing is just pure wasting time. It is illiteracy.
All right.
Understand me?
All right.
Cut somebody's body into pieces. You cannot get 1 naira from there. It is illiteracy.
All right, Mr. Peter Anosike, thank you so much for taking your time and sharing your perspective on the world news at 12. We sincerely do appreciate your input.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And now to wrap up the world news at 12, right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Here again are the top stories. You heard that Agunloye accuses Obasanjo of spreading falsehood on Mambila power project. Also, President Tinubu makes 45 fresh appointments. Court prescribes Lakurawa declares group terrorist sect, and Governor Makindi's brother is dead. That's a wrap on the world news at 12. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. To stay tuned for more interesting programming.